I'm Margot. I'm 15. Student.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm calling to report a missing person.
Okay, who is this regarding?
My daughter.
When was the last time you saw her?
She did not run away.
Local team has been missing since last Thursday.
She made a transaction of $2,500.
I know my daughter. Where were you the night my daughter went missing? I know my daughter.
Look into her behavior also.
She gets a fake ID. I know my daughter.
This is her keychain.
She was my best friend. You broke his jaw.
I know my daughter.
I'm trying to help you find my daughter. I didn't know her. I didn't know my daughter.
Hello everyone, my name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about Searching. This movie is written and directed by first-time writer-director, I'm probably mispronouncing this, but I'm going to take a crack at it anyway, Anish Chaganty. He has made a lot of short films, and this is his first feature-length film, and are you fucking kidding me? John Cho plays David Kim, who is the father of Margaret, played by Michelle La, and I feel like these two in this movie are the focal point. John Cho plays a fantastic father in this movie, and watching his progression throughout is very engaging because of his performance. Michelle La, who plays Margaret, David Kim's father, played by John Cho. Michelle La, she's not in the movie very much, but the scenes that she's in, you feel that connection between David Kim and Margaret here, especially with what we learn at the beginning of the movie as to why these two characters, Margaret and David, are separated emotionally. Joseph Lee plays Peter in this movie. He is the brother to David Kim and the uncle to Margaret. And Joseph Lee's not in this movie very much, but just like John Cho, this guy acts his ass off in this movie, and there's one scene in particular that comes to mind that is between John Cho and this actor, and I thought that scene was emotionally gripping. Deborah Messing plays Detective Vic in this movie, and as soon as I saw her pop up on screen, my mind immediately went to, hey, that's the chick from Will and Grace! Deborah Messing as a detective in this movie came off to me like the 50 Cent version of Kim Dickens, who played Detective Rhonda Boney in the movie Gone Girl. And Gone Girl is my favorite movie of 2014, and Kim Dickens in Gone Girl playing Detective Rhonda Boney was absolutely fantastic. And Deborah Messing here in Searching playing Detective Vic wasn't very believable to me. It's not until the very end of the movie where they showcase Deborah Messing in a different light. Where at the beginning I see her and her character's not very believable. Maybe it's the actor, maybe it's, her being recognizable, maybe it's the performance, I don't know. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And then something happens at the end with her character where I was like, hey, you know what? I like this version of the Detective Vic character more so than what I saw at the beginning. I would say that the most engaging part of this movie is the story and its progression. Much like the 2014 Gone Girl, which is my favorite film, it has a lot of twists and turns. There are lots of things in this movie that I don't think the audience will see coming. While I was watching the movie, I was on the edge of my seat throughout most parts, especially with John Cho searching, trying to find his daughter, trying to connect the dots, put the pieces together, find out where his daughter is. All of that stuff is emotionally gripping, especially learning about him and his daughter and their relationship. And then when she goes missing, you feel John Cho as a father, you feel his frustration, his anger, and his pain. And with all the twists and turns in the movie, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, what was going to happen next, who was who's playing who, and by the end of it, I was completely floored. I was satisfied, I was happy with what I got. The story in this movie is the highlight of this entire thing. Overall, I will give Searching an A. I give it a solid A. I thought it was very well executed. It was perfectly handled. The performances in here from the main actors were great, except for, what's that actor's name? Deborah Messing. Like I said at the beginning, I thought it was a little weird seeing her there, but then by the end, I enjoyed her and her performance. And just the only negative thing I can say about this is that, you know, this does feel like a cheap version of Gone Girl, whereas Gone Girl feels more cinematic, it has more style to it, it's more music, but the story elements and plot are fairly similar. And they even mention Gone Girl in this movie, which you probably catch it, you'll probably catch it, but I saw it and I was like, okay, yeah, all right then. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you know, it was a really good movie. I think the story in this movie is the highlighted portion, along with some pretty solid performances from the main cast in here. And yeah, just the twists and the turns and the suspense and being involved with the family and watching them progress throughout the movie is the highlighted portion here. As far as the directing and the editing and the way the movie presents itself goes, it just feels like, you know, a cheap version of Gone Girl, and it also feels like that Unfriended movie that I just saw a few months ago, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But if I really wanted to choose between Gone Girl and Searching and I had to put money on it, I would go with Gone Girl because it's more cinematic, it feels more like a movie, whereas this just feels kind of like, you know, some cheap version of Gone Girl. But I will say, for the way the movie presents itself, it does put you in the perspective of the father. You feel like you're searching along with him, or you are like his character and you're trying to figure out what's going on. The movie is going like this, and it goes like this, and it goes like this, and it goes like this, and it's just boom, and it's fantastic. It touches my heart. Has really good movie. I enjoyed Searching with John Cho. It's fantastic. Only thing I can say is I wish it had been more cinematic like Gone Girl, and I just wish there probably was a little bit more going on with the daughter and the father in this movie, which I do think they tie it up in a nice bow. But I just wish there was just a tad bit more emotion with those two characters. But other than that, I enjoyed it. That's all I have to say. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.